Welcome back to another episode of Your Daily Real Estate. I'm Tristan. Let's talk about prospecting, specifically talking to people and making them feel comfortable when talking to them. Now, we've been over systems and processes and making sure that you go over certain things in your dialogue, but we have never really been over this piece of it. Now, this episode is brought to you by brillianttribe.com. Check us out. That's where I help you grow your business, all different types of coaching, brillianttribe.com. Now, today, so every Thursday, I run a live prospecting session. That means you get to listen in to me prospecting, calling, texting, emailing my database. And I've got like 150,000 people in there. Now, today, I was reaching out to my database, and I happened to talk to somebody that we had previously talked to briefly that wanted to sell their home. They came in as an online lead, and they requested, like most seller online leads, requested the value of their home. This one just came in through the value. It wasn't like a cash offer type of thing. So I reached out to him, and the time I reached out to him was a month ago. And then I'll tell you the recent conversation. A month ago, reached out to him by text, and I said, hey, I think his name was Jim. Hey, Jim, I just missed you. I tried calling you. Listen, the value of your home is this much. I gave it to them, but I'm not sure because I haven't seen the inside. Does that sound about right? And then I called him twice, and then he called me back. And I said, hey, Jim, it's Tristan with Y Realty. Listen, you inquired about the value of your home. Have you done any upgrades? And he said, Listen, young man, he's an older guy. I haven't done any upgrades. And even if I did, how do you know you haven't seen my house? I'm like, I was like, Jim, I'm sorry. Look, from what I can see online, the value of our home is this. Is that what you thought? He's like, oh. Then he changed his tone. He's like, yeah, that's about right. It's what I thought. I haven't fixed anything. I said, okay, Jim, I'm going to send you a report that I'm going to put together for you. This way you can take a look at it and let me know what you think of this since you haven't fixed anything. He's like, great. So that happened, sent it over. And then today, a month later, because I've been trying to get a hold of him, but I haven't been able to. And now I have. Called him, he picked up. He was in a great mood. And I loved that he picked up because it showed the follow-up sequence. It showed the nurturing. This is a long-term nurture for me. This is going to be a really long one. And it showed how you should approach people that aren't ready right now. And so he picked up and he said, hey, who's this? And I go, it's Tristan. We talked a month ago about your home value. He's like, oh, yes, I remember. I said, great. Listen, I sent you that report. Did you have a chance to look at it? And he's like, I did. I go, what'd you think of the value? He's like, I think you were right on. I go, so 780-ish. He's like, yeah, look, if anybody offered me that, I'd sell it. And I was like, oh, my ears perk up, right? I'm like, oh, really? I go, so if I brought you a buyer to buy it at 780, you'd sell it? And he's like, no. So he changed his mind. He pedaled back. He's like, no, I wouldn't sell it. And then he said, here's what's happened. And that's what I was waiting for. He said, here's what's happened. My wife died right after Mother's Day. He's older. She was older. And I said, okay, I'm just listening. He's like, and then we had some complications, we had situations, and now where we're at is like, I don't know where I want to be. I might go with my kids, but I don't know if they're going to move. I don't know if they're going to stay. So everything's up in the air right now. I'm just having everything fixed so that everything's arranged for this property just in case something else happens. I said, great. Do you need any help with that? And do you need me to connect you with a local attorney? He's like, no, I've got it all handled. And then he told me who's going to help him. I'm like, oh, those are great people. And then he had a long list of other people. And then we kept talking a little bit. And at no point, after he told me all of this, at no point did I say, hey, so listen, let's get back to selling. Or, hey, listen, I've got somebody that might be interested. By the way, I do. I didn't push any of that because my whole goal, like yours, isn't to be salesy, isn't to be spammy, isn't to go for the close. Your number one thing is to build relationships. To build relationships that are centered and built around how you're making people feel. And for me, my goal was to make Jim feel like he's the most important person that right now in front of me, talking to him. More importantly, listening and seeing how I can be of value to where he's currently at. And if I keep on pressing about selling his home, that I might have somebody, and that you've got to take advantage of the current market and all that, that's falling on deaf ears. You've got to ask the right questions to see what pops up. So I know for me, the next step in this is to send him a handwritten note and for me to stop by and meet him in person if he's home. And then to start setting now the foundation to build a longer term relationship. Because if he knows that I care, if he knows that I care about him, and if he knows that I'm going to be there for him because I'm always showing up when he needs me with the right value, then he's going to show up for me when he's ready. And that's what I want. So I want you to start thinking that way. I want you to start thinking that this is the way you approach your business because it's all relationship based. You need to make that impression from the very beginning. Hopefully that helps. And if you ever want to listen in to these coaching calls that we do, they're on Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific. What is that? 2 p.m. Eastern. It's part of our coaching, but if you want to listen in 1 or 2 times, let me know. I'll let you in for free. So message me on Instagram. If not, I'll see you tomorrow.